So wait, you're saying that you were only having sex with one other man other than Mr. Jordan?
Just one time in April, and then I found out I was pregnant in June.
You're talking to a girl,
yes,
meaning you all are having a casual sexual relationship or whatever you all doing at that point.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Heim has been spinning some web of lies for a while now, and the web has now caught two men. One of the men, Mr. Jordan, is in court today, angry with Ms. Heim, and he's demanding a DNA test for her 2-year-old daughter, saying he was tricked into signing her birth certificate. Ms. Heim claims another man could be the father. The man in question is waiting outside the courtroom. Which of the men will be free from Ms. Heim's web of lies?
She tricked me into thinking that the other guy hadn't got a paternity test on Caitlin.
Ms. Heim says during her relationship with Mr. Jordan, she only had sex with one other man, and it was a one-time deal. Interesting. She admits to fooling around with this same man for about 7 years, but she never got pregnant until she started sleeping with Mr. Jordan. Well, it was within her window of conception. How is she so sure that Mr. Jordan is the father and not the other guy? What is she not telling the court?
When we were together, and I had sex with him one time, but we've been messing around for 7 years, and I never became pregnant.
Ms. Heim burst into tears, saying it was upsetting to her that her daughter's paternity was in question. Maybe, just maybe, she shouldn't have slept with another man. Mr. Jordan looks on, no emotion on his face. He's definitely not moved by her tears. He was a man on a mission. Ms. Heim says that her daughter feels neglected, starved of a father's love. Mr. Jordan cuts in, saying that was not the case, that the child felt loved every time he was around.
And it's because you feel like they're lying on you? Because Mr. Jordan says you consistently lie. What are you feeling?
Hurt.
Mr. Jordan says he was there throughout the duration of the pregnancy. He never left Ms. Heim's side. He was there for all the late-night cravings. He was also there for the child's birth. He wanted to be a better person for the child. He says everything went wrong during an altercation with a family member. The family member says to Ms. Heim's face why she hasn't told Mr. Jordan he was not the father to her child. The whole courtroom gasped.
I was there to get up out of my sleep at night to go get pickles and ice cream. That's what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I never grew up with my parents.
Mr. Jordan says the family member tells him that there was evidence to back up the claims, and they started pulling out their phones. Ms. Heim, with a long face, says that her family is messy. Mr. Jordan says they showed him pictures of his supposed daughter having moments with another guy. He submitted the evidence to the courtroom. He says he was shocked beyond words.
You can say whatever, but as she was saying it, she pulls out the phone, and she started showing me I could pull it up. I ain't gotta lie.
One of the pieces of evidence submitted by Mr. Jordan was a picture of his daughter with the other guy. Mr. Jordan says there was a resemblance between the man and his daughter. He says he has no idea who the man was. Ms. Heim says it was the man she had sex with that one time. What? There were jeers all over the courtroom.
And as you can see right here, Your Honor, like, I don't like to say people look alike, but I'm like, yo, it's a lot of resemblance.
Ms. Heim admits that on that particular occasion where that photograph was taken, she was the one that took her daughter over to see the other man. Good heavens, she insists that it was just that one time. Mr. Jordan objects. The judge presses her with further questions, trying to know what her deal with the other man was. Ms. Heim started going around in circles. She did not say anything that was concrete.
What your family members got to do with my daughter on another man's lap?
Right, that's what I want to know.
I didn't say.
How did she get over there? Did you take her over there?
That time I did on that couch.
The other man, Mr. Knight, was called to the stands to give his version of events. He says he believes that he's the father of the child. Wow. He says when Ms. Heim told him she was pregnant, he knew, because she told him Mr. Jordan couldn't get her pregnant. Ms. Heim objects, saying that Mr. Knight was lying, that she only told him she was pregnant. Nothing more. Mr. Knight says that was not what he heard. Who could be lying?
Where you put in a caption that this is me and my baby Kate, where you are referring to this little girl as your daughter.
Yes.
Mr. Knight says Ms. Heim told him that she let somebody else sign the birth certificate, but she will fix it when she gets home to him. What? Everyone, including the judge, was stunned. Mr. Knight tells Ms. Heim to tell the truth because it will still be revealed, that there was no need to lie. Mr. Jordan looks on, vindicated but hurt. His head was spinning with all the revelations. Only the DNA results can help him.
The biological father is Mr. Jordan. Mr. Jordan, you are Caitlin's biological father. Mr. Black, you say you're here today to finally prove that you are not the biological father of 4-month-old Javion Black.
Yes, Your Honor.
Once lovers, now sworn enemies, Mr. Black comes to court determined to cut all ties. He wants his name stripped from Miss Rockmore's 4-month-old son, denying any fatherly role. Miss Rockmore is disgusted by what she sees as his endless attempts to escape responsibility. Even Mr. Black's mother has appeared in court, but will she defend her son or side with the child? What drove this bitter clash? Could the shadow of Miss Rockmore's ex, still lingering in the picture, be the reason?
When I was getting to know her, her ex was still involved, and I believe he still got something to do with her while we was trying to get to know each other, and I don't know what they had going on, but I mean, that's one of my doubts.
Miss Rockmore testified that she slept with Mr. Black the very day they met, driven by strong attraction. She says it shouldn't have happened, but insisted she wasn't involved with anyone else at the time. No other partners, no relationships. Mr. Black's face betrayed his disbelief, but he chose to remain silent.
We got to know each other a little better on that evening, and then we had sexual contact later on that night.
Same night you saw her walking
Yes,
around the
ma'am.
parking lot?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Black spoke up saying doubt crept in because Miss Rockmore's ex was still around during their relationship. He claims he personally saw the man, once passing by during a conversation, and later escorting her to the store. He said he knew this was her ex because Miss Rockmore herself told him so. Interesting development.
That period of time, I seen her ex involved with her, and so, I mean, I don't know if she's capable of having
So
sex
you
with me.
said you saw her with her ex?
Yes, ma'am. He walked past me while I was at her house talking to her, and he went and took her to the store.
Judge Lauren pressed him. If he hadn't seen the ex doing anything more than walking and going to the store, why assume infidelity? Mr. Black replies that no man stays in a woman's life without expecting something in return. His suspicion, he claimed, was only common sense. Well, you can't argue with that logic. Maybe he's speaking from experience.
And so when you were talking, was this during the window of conception? Because you were doing more than talking since you standing here now.
Miss Rockmore recalled the moment she learned she was pregnant. The first person she told was her mother, who went with her to see a doctor. After leaving the appointment, she phoned Mr. Black with the news, but he dismisses her claims until she presents a sonogram as proof.
So now, Ms. Rockmore, at some point you find out you're pregnant.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
And when you find out you're pregnant, who do you tell?
The first person that I told was my mom, and that's because she went to the doctor with me. As soon as I left the doctor, I called Mr. Black to let him know that I was pregnant.
Mr. Black then submitted a calendar as evidence. Marked on it were the dates of their encounters, the day he left, and when she later informed him of her pregnancy, he argued that based on those dates, he could not be the father. Judge Lauren studied the calendar carefully, pointing out how close the dates really were, and concluded that he very well could be responsible. The courtroom erupted in applause.
So you believe there's no way based on this calendar that you are the father?
Yes, ma'am. Ain't no way I can be the father at all.
Mr. Black coldly admitted their relationship was only about sex. It was supposed to be a one-time fling. The whole courtroom gasped in shock. He says the baby was an accident, maybe even a blessing, but not his responsibility. Judge Lauren asks if he had supported the child in any way. Miss Rockmore answered firmly, no, he had not.
She put my name on a hospital birth certificate. She gave him my name. I'm just doubtful all over, Your Honor. I mean, all I really wanted to do in the beginning was have sex anyway.
Then came a powerful twist. Mr. Black's own mother, Miss Black, was called to testify. With a harsh voice, she condemned her son for dragging Ms. Rockmore to court. She declared, "That's your child." The courtroom burst into applause. She says she believed without a doubt the boy was her grandchild and insisted her son step up. The applause thundered again.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'm his mom, and I am very disappointed. I'm outraged that he would go this far to bring this young lady to court to prove that's his son.
Miss Black says she already had a bond with the baby, and her love for him was unquestionable. Mr. Black says he felt betrayed that his mother wasn't on his side. The courtroom jeered loudly. He argues the baby looked nothing like his 3 daughters, pointing out he already had a fiancée at home. His excuses only drew more outrage from the audience. Now, everything rested on one thing: the DNA results.
Mr. Black, you are the father.
All right. Okay. All right.
Miss Torrey, and Ms. Henderson, you have both entered the court today with cases against the defendant, Mr. Goodson. You have joined together because you, Ms. Torrey, claim the defendant is denying he is the father of your 2 kids.
Life, they say, is full of surprises. You never know what surprise you'll pull out. But for Miss Torrey and Ms. Henderson, the surprise was far from sweet. Both women stand in court, each claiming Mr. Goodson is the father of their children. Mr. Goodson flatly denies both accusations, insisting he bears no responsibility. The question is, are these women lying, or is Mr. Goodson hiding the truth?
Okay. Additionally, you state Ms. Henderson slept with you and your cousin in the same time frame, and therefore you can't be sure
which was a lie.
Her daughter is yours.
Miss Henderson took the stand and told her story. She says she met Mr. Goodson's cousin on a chat line one day. The cousin arrived in a white truck with Mr. Goodson sitting in the back seat, staring at her. Just an hour later, Mr. Goodson himself called, saying he wanted to see her. That meeting ended with him pulling up in a stolen car. What? The entire courtroom gasped in disbelief.
Or whatever. He in the back car, like, looking at me like, ooh, he wanted me or whatever. So we went to go take some drinks or whatnot, listening to music. They recording music, they rapping, and I'm singing on their songs or whatnot, having fun.
According to Miss Henderson, the police quickly intervened, ordering them out of the stolen vehicle. Mr. Goodson denied every word. But Miss Torrey chimed in, saying she believed Henderson's story because even Goodson's own mother once told her he stole quarters just to go see women. Wonderful. Ms. Henderson insisted she never knew the car was stolen. Goodson countered, saying this drama only happened because Henderson wanted to ditch his cousin for him.
He like, yeah, boo, I'm outside. Next thing you know, here come the police like, freeze, get out the car. I'm like, really? You came to pick me up in the stolen car?
Henderson revealed she became intimate with Goodson after he was released from jail for the stolen car incident. She says he picked her up, they got drunk, and had sex that same night. Their relationship continued for a year, unprotected. Goodson fired back, claiming she was with both him and his cousin. Ms. Henderson snapped back, denying that accusation. Tempers were flaring.
He called me like, can I come see you or whatnot? And I'm like, yeah. He came to see me again, but this time it was with his Caucasian homeboy and his son.
The cousin, Mr. Thomas, was called to the stand. He says his relationship with Ms. Henderson was strictly sexual, nothing more than a one-night stand. He confesses that either he or Goodson could be the father. Wow. Meanwhile, Miss Torrey recounted her own story. She says she met Goodson through one of her cousins. That same weekend, they ended up in bed together.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Thomas.
How you doing?
Now, Mr. Thomas, we need to understand, what was your relationship with Ms. Henderson?
It's just like a friendship, one-night thing, you know how it be. Some nights.
Oh my gosh.
Miss Torrey testifies that since the birth of her son, Goodson has repeatedly denied him. Goodson says he once liked Torrey, but claims she lies constantly. He accuses her of sneaking behind his back to sleep with other men. Torrey shot back immediately, saying he was the liar. Goodson doubled down, saying she used to flirt with men openly, so he returned the favor. An eye for an eye, it seems.
Mr. Goodson, just tell the court, what is going on?
Well, me and Andrea, I like Andrea very much, but I feel like she lied too much. Like, she lied. She'd tell me something, but she'd tell me like 6 months later or whatever.
Goodson escalated his claims, saying he even called one of these men, and the man flat out told him the child was his. He accused Torrey of being unfaithful throughout their relationship. Torrey dismissed it all, saying the man only lied to provoke Goodson. She swore she never asked him to say that.
I got in her phone one day, I called this dude in her phone, and then the dude answered the phone. He was like, we had changed some words with each other. And then he was like, yeah, this my son. That's why I take it.
Miss Torrey defended herself passionately. She says Goodson was insecure, always accusing her of cheating when she never had. She says she even tattooed his name on her neck to prove her loyalty. Why would she cheat after that? Goodson fires back, saying he also tattooed her name on himself. What a chaotic duo.
2 kids that you claim he's not taking care of.
Right.
Why do you think he's denying?
Because look at him. He always, I don't know, he got insecurities. He been saying I've been cheating ever since we met each other.
Were you cheating?
No.
The court then hears from Mr. Goodson's mother, Ms. Anderson. She shocks everyone by revealing that Goodson's father had 17 children. The courtroom gasped. She says she believed both women's kids could be her grandchildren. She says she wanted her son to turn his life around, to be better than his father, and to finally step up. But she also pitied the women, because her son had no job. Only the DNA results can save them.
Mr. Goodson, you are the father. In the case of Tory versus Goodson, Mr. Goodson, you are the father. In the case of Henderson versus Goodson, and whether or not you, Mr. Goodson, or your cousin is the father, Lazasia, Mr. Goodson, you are the father.
Yeah.
Mr. Pace, you say you will be crushed today if DNA results reveal you are not the biological father of your son, Prince.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Pace entered Judge Lauren's courtroom, scars still fresh on his back, but his wounds ran deeper than flesh. He was here to uncover the truth about his young son's paternity. The betrayal? His own best friend, Mr. Randolph, could be the father. Miss Fobbs, his girlfriend, sat heavy with regret, her eyes cast low. And yet, across the room, Mr. Randolph wore no shame at all. The question lingered, will Mr. Pace heal or rip open an even greater wound?
Pace?
Yes.
So what's at stake for you and your family today?
Well, what's at stake would be, I would say, 3 relationships. The relationship that I have with Miss Fobbs, as well as the relationship that I have with Mr. Randolph, also the relationship that I have with Prince.
Mr. Pace explains how his life changed after meeting Miss Fobbs. She quickly moved in with him and his closest friend, Mr. Randolph. It wasn't long before she became pregnant, forcing Mr. Pace to leave with her and build a home of their own. Miss Fobbs admits her lapse in judgment, insisting it happened only once with Mr. Randolph. Her reasoning? Loneliness in the dark, while Mr. Pace worked long nights. How convenient.
We went out on a few dates. We kind of bonded real quick. She ended up moving in with me and Mr. Randolph. Shortly after her moving in, she became pregnant.
Miss Fobbs confesses again, calling her encounter with Mr. Randolph the worst mistake of her life. She swore she never meant to wound Mr. Pace, only that suspicion and jealousy clouded her thoughts. Mr. Pace, a nightclub promoter, was surrounded by women every evening, fueling her insecurities. Though she admits there were trust issues, she firmly denied cheating outside that one night. But for Mr. Pace, the damage was already done.
The situation with me and Randolph was a mistake, a big mistake, the worst mistake I think I ever made, because I've never intentionally set out to hurt Byron in any way.
Then came the breaking point. During a heated argument, Miss Fobbs dropped the bombshell. Mr. Randolph, Mr. Pace's best friend, could be the father of his son. Shockwaves echoed through the courtroom. Judge Lauren had to ask again, unable to believe her ears. Mr. Pace confirms it. His son was just 2.5 years old when the truth surfaced. His voice trembled with betrayal as the audience gasped.
We were actually in a heated argument at the time that it occurred, but it kind of just got blurted out to me that Mr. Randolph could be a potential father for Prince.
Mr. Pace recalls the moment he confronted his best friend. He paused before meeting him, knowing rage could consume him if he didn't. The audience erupted in applause at his restraint. Instead, he demanded answers and proposed a DNA test to end the torment. Mr. Randolph confessed, admitting he had slept with Miss Fobbs. The friendship they once shared shattered in that instant.
I wanted to meet with him face to face to find out what's going on, but I did take a few hour break as far as before we met, because I didn't want to do anything out of anger.
The spotlight shifted to Mr. Randolph. His defense? A drunken haze. He says both he and Miss Fobbs were intoxicated the night it happened. He painted a picture of lonely nights, of Miss Fobbs searching clubs for Mr. Pace and returning home unsteady. Those late-night conversations soon spiraled into something more. He says he couldn't recall if protection was used.
Well, to answer that, Your Honor, I wasn't in the right state of mind. We both was intoxicated. You know, he was out promoting clubs, and she used to come home from the club intoxicated.
Both Mr. Randolph and Ms. Fobbs swore it was only one encounter, but Mr. Pace's face burned with pains. Once was more than enough. The audience applauded his resolve. He says his heart was torn between fear and confusion, especially with the DNA verdict hanging over his head. Mr. Randolph submitted a photograph, pointing to the resemblance between himself and the child. The tension only grew thicker.
Was it only one time?
Honestly, that I can recall, yes.
Well,
That's it, just one time.
One time is one time too many for me.
Miss Fobbs admits she could have handled things differently. The secret weighed heavily on her until she finally confessed, though her timing left scars. Her son was now 4, but she insists she had revealed the truth when he was just 2. Mr. Pace corrected her sharply. It was 2.5 years. Still, Miss Fobbs pleaded for stability. She wanted her son to have a father, something she herself never had. Medicine after death.
Maybe it wasn't the right approach for me to give it to him at that way, but I just feel like now we're at the point of no return, so I have to do what I have to do.
So you say it was weighing heavy on you?
Yes.
Miss Fobbs says that her son only knew Mr. Randolph as uncle, while Mr. Pace was firmly his father figure. She begs for it to remain that way. Mr. Pace agrees there was no hate between them as adults, but he made it clear paternity was the only battleground. Miss Fobbs professed her lingering love, vowing she wanted to mend their broken relationship. Only one truth could settle this, the one truth being the DNA results.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Pace, you are not his father. Continuing on with the next result. Mr. Randolph, you are not. Ms. Shank, you claim that when your daughter Serenity turned 2, Mr. Robinson began to doubt paternity.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Shank admits to cheating with a close friend, casting doubt over her daughter's paternity. Mr. Robinson, once fully present in the child's life, begins to withdraw after learning of the betrayal. Now he hopes the DNA results will confirm what his heart still wants to believe, that Serenity is his. If the test goes his way, perhaps he can reclaim the bond he once had with his daughter. But will these two parents find a way to rebuild that trust?
Well, Your Honor, up to 2 years of Serenity's life, I was there for her. And Mrs. Shank, about 5 months, she was 5 months pregnant. She told me that I may not be her father.
Mr. Robinson tells the court Miss Shank confessed to sleeping with a friend of his. Shocking. She admits she wasn't sure who the father was, though she claimed to have used protection. But one night, one broken condom, and one reckless decision brought chaos into their lives. Miss Shank breaks down in tears, insisting she came clean out of guilt.
She told you she was pregnant, you believed her. You said, okay, and I'm there.
Yes, ma'am.
Doctor's appointments, everything.
Yes, ma'am, I was there.
And then about 5 months, what happened?
She told me that she had slept with a friend of mine and didn't know if I was the father or if he was the father.
Miss Shank insists it happened only once, but once is enough to make a baby. She says she confessed 5 months into the pregnancy, but Mr. Robinson says otherwise. He had gone through her phone and discovered a shocking message to her cousin. In it, she admitted there was a 50-50 chance he wasn't the father. So, was her confession honest? Or was she simply trapped in her own web of lies?
Was it just one time with the other guy?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, when you finally decided to tell Mr. Robinson the truth, fill me in on that, because Mr. Robinson says he was there for you. He was going to doctor's appointments. He thought he was having a child.
Miss Shank claims she replayed the events in her head and realized the odds were uncertain. The judge presses her. At what point did she truly believe it was 50-50? She says it was only after deep reflection, but doubt lingered over her words. Mr. Robinson, despite the pain, reveals he still stood by her side during the pregnancy. The entire courtroom could feel the weight of his loyalty, even through betrayal. What a man.
It didn't add up. It didn't add up, Your Honor.
What do you mean it didn't add up? It did add up because you wouldn't have written that text if you didn't think that.
The condom broke when I slept with.
Mr. Robinson reminds the court his name is on the birth certificate. He took responsibility and cared for the child as if there was no question at all, but he began pulling away after hearing she planned to test the other man, and not him. The entire courtroom gasped in disbelief at this revelation. Miss Shank admits she tried to test the other man, but couldn't even find him. Who would have thought?
Through her whole pregnancy, I was there through her birth, the birth certificate, my name is on it.
And then now you have this beautiful little girl, and you step up and you're her father.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Shank then says something even more shocking. When the child was born, she didn't resemble Robinson. Instead, she believed the baby looked like the other man. Gasps filled the room. She notes that her older child with Robinson is his spitting image, but now she accuses him of treating the children differently. She says Robinson showers his son with love, but shows little affection for Serenity.
So when my daughter was first born, she didn't look anything like him. She looked just like the other man.
Oh. And so as Mr. Robinson was bonding with the baby, really stepping up to the plate as father,
She recalls the day Robinson and his mother came to pick up their son. Serenity was left behind, crying as her brother was taken without her. She says whenever Serenity tries to speak with Robinson on the phone, her brother intervenes. He tells her cruelly, "That's not your daddy." Even the judge was stunned. How could a child even know such details?
Even sometimes when my son talks to his father on the phone, and after he gets off, Serenity says, "I want to talk to daddy," and my son says, "That's not your daddy."
How would a child know to tell another child that's not your father?
Miss Shank's mother, Miss Donna, is called to the stand. She declares she is here to stand by her daughter no matter what. The courtroom applauds her strength as she begins to speak. She admits she understands Robinson's distance. She's lived through a similar experience. Her greatest fear is that Serenity will suffer the same pain her own son once endured.
And I'm here today to support my daughter. I totally understand why Mr. Robinson pulled away from my daughter Serenity, granddaughter Serenity.
Miss Donna explains that when Serenity was born, she too saw no resemblance to Robinson. But now, as the child grows, she sees his features emerging more clearly. Still, she insists resemblance isn't enough to silence doubt. Even Robinson admits at times he sees himself in the little girl's face. But the judge cuts in. Only DNA results can bring closure to this painful chapter.
In the case of Shank versus Robinson, when it comes to 2-year-old Serenity Shank, Jamario Robinson is her father.
This paternity court case kicks off with a bang. Ms. Johnson insists there's no doubt Mr. Lewis is the father of her 6-month-old daughter Josiah, but Mr. Lewis and his mom aren't buying it. They claim not only did rumors start flying, but Ms. Johnson's ex-boyfriend also swore he could be the dad. Uh-oh, folks, we're already knee-deep in drama.
Ms. Johnson, you claim you have no doubts whatsoever that Mr. Lewis is the father of your 6-month-old daughter Josiah.
Ms. Johnson explains they first met back in middle school, lost touch, then reconnected on Facebook. They started dating in March 2013, and by April, yes, just 1 month later, she was pregnant. That is what you call moving fast. Forget Netflix and chill, this was Facebook and fatherhood.
Well, it all started, me and Mr. Lewis was friends back in middle school, and then we stopped talking for a while, and then we met up again through Facebook. I had broke up with my ex.
When she told Mr. Lewis the baby was his, he says he actually broke down crying. Why? Because he grew up without a dad and didn't want his child to experience that same pain. He rushed home, told his mom, and cried in her arms. I mean, this moment is low-key sweet, but you can already feel the storm brewing.
Yes.
And she tells you.
Yes.
And when she tells you, what do you think?
When she first told me, I was excited. I actually broke down crying, tell my mom, because I ain't know how I be, because I ain't have my dad, and I ain't want no kid growing up like I did.
Then we hear from Mama Lewis. She admits she first found out about the pregnancy directly from Ms. Johnson, but when her son later came home sobbing with the news, she was torn between joy and fear. And to her credit, she told him to step up and do the right thing. So far, Mom's sounding like the voice of reason here.
Well, I first found out through Ms. Johnson. That's how I first found out that she was pregnant.
So you found out from Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
How did you find out? Take me back to that.
She called me and told me that she was pregnant.
But then comes the shady twist. Ms. Johnson's own relatives started telling Mama Lewis that there could be others who might be the father. Wait a minute, your family is out here sabotaging you? Even Judge Lauren is confused, like why would her family be spreading paternity rumors against their own blood?
From one of her family members.
What did they say?
She had told me that my son could be the father, and she also said there could be others that could be the father.
Ms. Johnson tries to explain it away, saying her relatives never want to see her happy. But let's be real, that's one heck of a family reunion. Instead of potato salad, they're serving DNA doubts.
The whole time I kept telling Mr. Lewis that it was his baby, but he was still believing one of my family members.
Why would your family members say that about you?
Things only get worse when Ms. Johnson admits she told Mr. Lewis during her pregnancy that the baby wasn't his, just because he believed the rumors. Excuse me, ma'am, that's not how this works. Judge Lauren nearly falls out of her chair at this logic.
So you say you had no doubt that he was the father of your child, right?
Yes, sir.
So why is it you didn't tell him when the baby was coming?
And then comes the ex-boyfriend drama. According to Mr. Lewis's mom, the ex slid into her DMs after seeing her post about the paternity mess. He straight up claimed that Ms. Johnson told him he was the father. Not only that, he even posted pictures on social media holding the baby with the caption, "I'm daddy." Oh, the nerve.
In reference of my son, finding out that he's a father, to now finding out that he may not be the father, it could be somebody else's. So the ex saw my status and sent me a message. And
Mr. Lewis then drops the bomb. He was on a secret three-way call with Ms. Johnson and her ex. He says he heard her with his own ears admit she didn't know who the father was. And y'all, the way Judge Lauren's eyebrows shot up, somebody better pass the popcorn.
One day, I think it was in March, we had a three-way conversation. She and I was on the phone, and I actually heard her. He asked her who the father between me and Derek, and I heard her say, "I don't know."
Okay, let me hear that again.
When Judge Lauren asks her point blank if she really knew, Ms. Johnson doubles down, saying Mr. Lewis is the dad. But let's be honest, the timeline, the ex, the family gossip, and that three-way call are all painting a very messy picture.
Do you know which man is the father of your child? Do you really know?
I mean, to me, she looks like Mr. Lewis.
So are you basing it just off of looks?
Meanwhile, Mama Lewis explains the emotional toll. She watched her son cry at church, come to the altar for prayer, and spiral through months of not knowing. Honestly, my heart broke a little here. This wasn't just courtroom drama, this was real-life emotional wreckage.
maybe I talked to her and I said, "What is going on? Is Derek, the father?" And she was like, "No." I mean, had a real attitude, was real smart with me.
Then the court looks at side-by-side photos of baby Josiah and Mr. Lewis as a baby. And let me tell you, even the gallery was squinting like they were playing Spot the Difference. Mr. Lewis insists he sees resemblance, and even Mom reluctantly admits she does too.
No,
Never held her. My concern right now is the baby. But my thing is, for me, I couldn't get attached. She did
You felt
invite.
like you just couldn't even
I couldn't do it.
cross that threshold.
I couldn't do it.
Results time. Phew. We all can agree that this case has been filled with nothing but roller coasters and crazy truth bombs. Let's get to the bottom of it all, shall we? Here are the results.
In the case of Johnson v. Lewis, pertaining to 6-month-old Josiah Johnson, Mr. Lewis are Josiah's father.
But then, Ms. Johnson drops a tearful confession. She feels sad. Not because of the results, but because Mr. Lewis has never held his daughter. And in one of the most touching moments, Judge Lauren allows the Lewis family to meet Josiah for the very first time right there in court. I'm not crying, you're crying.
Because he haven't seen his daughter.
Can I give her you want her?
Yes, you may. Is that okay? If Mr. Lewis and Miss Lewis see.
Mr. Lewis cradles his daughter, whispering to her, and you can see the bond forming instantly. After months of doubt, drama, and family sabotage, the truth has set everyone free. Courtroom chaos turned into courtroom closure. What a ride.
Hey. Hey.
Oh my goodness. I don't think she could get any more beautiful. Look, how's it feel, Daddy?
Really good.
This case starts off with serious stakes. Ms. Adams rushes into court saying her son could literally go to jail if he's proven to be the father of Ms. Williams' 3-year-old son. And to make things even messier, Mr. Adams is joining via satellite from Michigan because he's under restrictions and can't even leave the state. Paternity court has never felt more like an episode of Law & Order.
Ms. Adams, you say you're here today regarding a matter of extreme urgency. Now, your son, Mr. Adams, is joining us via satellite from Flint, Michigan, because he's been prohibited by law enforcement from leaving your home state.
Judge Lauren makes it clear if Mr. Adams is the father, he owes back child support. If he can't pay, jail time is on the line. Ms. Williams, though, insists he is the father and that his legal troubles are all his own fault for never stepping up. Meanwhile, Mr. Adams shakes his head on that big satellite screen like, nope, not today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Adams is joining us from WBSF 46, the CW in Flint, Michigan, and we'll hear from you in a moment, sir. So, Ms. Adams, please tell the court why.
Then we get the backstory. Adams and Williams weren't in a relationship. They met at a party, hooked up casually, and she admits she was also sleeping with other men at the time without protection. Judge Lauren doesn't even hide her face. She gives her that, "oh girl, you didn't" look.
No, I really wouldn't call it no relationship. I met her at a house party. She tried to have sex with me on the first date, so that was a judge of character right there.
But you weren't in a committed relationship.
No, Your Honor.
Williams says at first she thought the baby belonged to her ex, so she didn't even include Adams when she got pregnant. But once a DNA test proved the ex wasn't the father, she turned to Adams. You can hear the tension rising. This isn't just messy. This is a whole soap opera unraveling in real time.
I need to understand these details. You tell him you're pregnant.
Yes.
What happened?
Me and my ex was still trying to make things work, and we were still messing around.
Now here's where the legal nightmare comes in. Because Adams never showed up for court, he was incarcerated at the time, he was declared the father by default. That's right, no DNA test, no proof, just boom, you're the daddy. And suddenly, he was slapped with child support payments he couldn't afford.
No, Your Honor, only due to the fact that I was incarcerated, so I didn't receive any court subpoenas, anything, Your Honor, I was incarcerated.
Adams's mom jumps in and says she personally overheard Williams admit multiple times that the child wasn't his. Once in her living room, another time in a department store. Williams denies it, of course, but the back and forth is wild. Mom's like, you said it wasn't his. Williams is like, that's a lie. Judge Lauren is like, somebody better get the popcorn.
So you heard her say no?
Yes, she said no in my living room. And she's over there talking about it's a lie. And she was in my very own living room when she said it.
I wouldn't have never came to your son. A possibility is a possibility. I never said no, and I never said he was the father.
Then things get real personal. Adam's mom accuses Williams of leaving the baby with everyone else while she went to strip clubs. Williams claps back proudly, admitting she was dancing, but only to provide for her son. Judge Lauren has to step in before it turns into a full-on shouting match.
And she letting everybody babysit while she go to the strip club ain't doing her no good. Because I babysitted the child and she didn't come get me for 2 days.
Listen.
Really?
Really.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court,
we also learn Adams dodged multiple DNA tests, once claiming he was literally too hungover to show up. Judge Lauren just about loses it here. She tells him straight, you could end up in jail because you didn't get out of bed. Folks, you can't make this up.
Asked you to take a DNA test.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor, she did.
Why didn't you take it?
His excuse was he had a hangover, he couldn't get up, he was just basically being lazy.
Adams explains how he found out he was in legal trouble. Police ran his name during a routine stop, and boom, warrant for child support. He thought he was just getting cigarettes and ended up spending 10 days in jail. Even Judge Lauren says this whole mess could have been avoided with one paternity test.
How did you even find out that you were deemed to be the father by default and you had already been placed on child support? How'd you find this out?
At the beginning of this year, I started receiving paperwork.
The courtroom quiets down when Judge Lauren points out the bigger picture. At the end of the day, this is about little John, the child caught in the middle. Williams breaks down saying she just wants to know who her son's father is so she can move forward. Suddenly, this wild case gets very real and very emotional.
I know this is emotional, but I think Ms. Williams has admitted that she knows she made some pretty huge mistakes. And Ms. Adams.
Then comes the picture test. They pull out side-by-side baby photos of Adams and little John. Williams insists she sees similarities. Adams says no, he doesn't see himself in the boy at all. His mom agrees. Honestly, the gallery is squinting like they're at an art museum trying to interpret the painting.
No, I can't see it, Your Honor. To me, he favors his mother.
Do you see it at all, Ms. Williams?
Like I said, looks don't mean anything. Sometimes he do, sometimes he don't. The head, sometimes the facial expressions my son made.
The DNA test envelope makes its grand entrance, and you can feel the air thicken. Judge Lauren opens it, and even she can't believe what she sees. It's almost as if no one was expecting what the results revealed, ready to kill the suspense. Well, here are the results.
Pertaining to whether Mr. Adams is the father of 3-year-old John Jones, it has been determined that Mr. Adams is not the father.
Adams immediately celebrates, yelling, "Take me off child support, baby," and even starts dancing on screen. But Judge Lauren shuts that down fast. She tells him this is nothing to clown about. His entire future was on the line, and he should be ashamed for playing games with something this serious.
Take me off child support, baby.
Mr. Adams, you done come to the wrong courtroom clowning. This is not a joke. It's nothing to dance about. It's nothing to laugh about.
Williams looks crushed. Adam's mom breathes a sigh of relief, and Judge Lauren delivers the final lesson. This case wasn't just about drama, it was about consequences. From missed DNA tests to wrongful child support, this courtroom roller coaster shows exactly how high the stakes can get.
You're a young man and you can have a very bright future if you choose to. Ms. Adams, I know this has been difficult and you've been worried about your child, so now you have at least...
This paternity court episode dives straight into the drama. Ms. Whitman admits she cheated on her boyfriend, Mr. Mapson, with Mr. Anderson. And now, everyone's in court trying to figure out who fathered her 1-month-old daughter, Michaela. A love triangle plus a paternity test? Buckle up, folks.
Good day, everyone. Ms. Whitman, the man you claim you love is standing in our courtroom hallway.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you confess you...
Judge Lauren doesn't waste time. She points out that Whitman wants to save her relationship with Mapson. But Anderson is saying, don't look at me, she was with other men too. That's right, the friends with benefits fling just got way more complicated.
Mr. Anderson, you say you knew Ms. Whitman was in a relationship when you slept with her, yet claim she was also intimate with other men as well.
Anderson doubles down on his doubts, saying he knows Whitman was messing with other men in their small town. He even claims one of those men was his cousin. The courtroom collectively gasped. Your cousin, though? That's betrayal on 2 levels.
Well, I have doubts because I know she was sleeping with other men besides me.
Specifically, how do you know that?
Because I've seen them up there, Your Honor.
Up where?
According to Anderson, his cousin straight up confirmed it. They even gave each other dap about it. Judge Lauren had to stop and be like, hold on, wait a minute. There are cousins involved now? At this point, even Jerome was probably shaking his head in disbelief.
So one of your cousins stayed up there with her for a week?
Yes.
Did your cousin tell you that he slept with her?
Yes, we even gave each other daps and everything.
Whitman fires back, saying yes, she knows the cousin, but denies ever sleeping with him. She admits he bought her a bed, but swears it was just a gift. The courtroom erupted because who casually buys a woman a bed unless they're planning on being in it too?
Well, how long did he stay?
His cousin never stayed at my house, period.
Was he at your house?
He came there,
Did
yes.
you sleep with him?
No, I did not. His cousin liked me.
When pressed again, Whitman insists she only slept with Mapson and Anderson, no one else. But let's be real, her story is changing faster than Wi-Fi signals on a road trip. Judge Lauren is not buying it.
Well, actually, Facebook, my baby mama, she didn't even call me.
I sent you the picture of the pregnancy test.
Then the pregnancy reveal enters the chat. Whitman admits she sent her positive test results to both men on Facebook. And while Mapson was excited at first, she confessed 2 weeks later that it could be someone else's baby. I mean, talk about an emotional roller coaster.
Yes,
I sent it to Mick too through Facebook.
Mr. Maps?
Yes, Mr. Maps, Your Honor.
Was he excited about the pregnancy?
Now it's Mapson's turn in the hot seat. He says he wanted to be there during the pregnancy, but backed out because he couldn't handle the thought the baby might not be his. And you can see the guilt eating him up as he admits he missed doctor visits and even the birth.
Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Mapson. So we're here, of course, discussing the paternity as it relates to beautiful Michaela. And we understand Ms. Whitman has testified that she was in a relationship.
Whitman breaks down, saying she went through the entire pregnancy and birth alone. Meanwhile, Anderson admits he blocked her on Facebook and phone because of the baby daddy drama she was causing online. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what modern-day heartbreak looks like.
I went through the whole birth alone, the whole 9 months. He even stopped talking to me, and I couldn't get a hold of Mr. Anderson because he blocked all communication, Facebook, telephone.
Judge Lauren asks if Anderson ever tried to get a DNA test before court. Turns out he wanted one, but Whitman refused to split the cost. Judge Lauren had the line of the day. She went half on the baby, but won't go half on the DNA test. I mean, case closed right there.
Mr. Mapson also wanted me to pay half. I wasn't finna pay half for both people.
Wait a minute! She done gone half on the baby and won't go half on the DNA test.
Mapson, despite his doubts, says he bonded with baby Michaela when he saw her, even showing her off to his family who swore she looked just like his son. And y'all, you could see his face softening. He wanted this little girl to be his.
I went to see the baby, and she was pretty. She was a beautiful baby. So I showed her around to my family, even called my kids, asked them what they think about her, and they all said.
Then emotions spike again. Anderson says this whole mess destroyed his own relationship. His girlfriend left him over the baby mama drama, and he's tearing up, saying the situation has left him in pain. This wasn't just courtroom gossip. Lives were unraveling.
I've been through so much. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know what I went through before I got here.
What are you feeling now?
I'm feeling pain.
Because
hurt.
this situation really bothers.
This situation has affected my life, you know?
Whitman, though, is laser focused. She declares she wants Mapson, not Anderson, but she's terrified that if Michaela isn't his, their relationship will be over for good. The tension is sky high. This DNA test will decide not just paternity, but her entire love life.
Whitman. But the truth of the matter is you're worried that the situation is going to destroy your relationship with Mr. Mapson because you don't want to be with Mr. Anderson.
No, it's no way that me and Mr. Anderson could be together.
But you want to be with Mr. Mapson.
Yes, that's who I want to be with.
Then Judge Lauren drops the hammer. Whitman lied in court earlier. She denied Anderson's claim about another man staying with her for a week, but now admits it's true. Judge Lauren flat out says, "Your credibility just went down the tube." Oof, that one stung.
Staying there with you for
But
a
we
week.
were not having sex. He stayed there. He was sleeping on the couch. He stayed there until he got all his utilities at his house.
Finally, it's DNA time. Jerome strolls in with the envelope. The room goes silent, and Judge Lauren reads the first result. It's not what you'd think, but it'll leave you to the surprise. Here are the results.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Anderson, you are not her father.
Then comes the second result. Judge Lauren reveals, Mr. Mapson, you are the father. Mapson immediately promises he'll never leave his daughter, while Whitman looks relieved, clinging to her second chance. The triangle is broken, the truth is out, and baby Michaela finally has her dad.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Mapson, you are her father.
This case is unlike anything we've seen before on paternity court. Ms. Kyler has been living with a mystery for 29 years. Who is her father? The twist? Both potential fathers are dead. She's brought her mother, Ms. Mills, to court in hopes DNA can finally solve this lifelong secret.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Kyler, you've brought your mother to court in hopes of finally finding out which of the two men in these...
Kyler explains her doubts began as a child when her mom told her the man upstairs, Mr. Barrows, was her father. The problem? He had another family, lived right above them, and still never acknowledged her, even while paying child support. Imagine being a little girl and hearing, "That's your dad," but he won't even say hello. Heartbreaking.
My doubts began as a child, around 5 years old. My mother telling me that Mr. Barrows was my father. He lived right upstairs from us, but...
It gets messier. One day, his girlfriend's kids told her, "That's not your father." When Kyler confronted him, he admitted he didn't know if he was her dad. That's right. Her supposed father literally said, "I don't know." Can you imagine the confusion?
Also, when I was younger, there was an incident of his girlfriend going back to her children, his nieces and nephews, saying that, "Oh, that's not her father." She said that, and they came back and told me.
Her mother, Ms. Mills, insists she always knew Barrows was the father. She claims the judge even granted child support after looking at baby Kyler and saying she looked exactly like him. But Kyler isn't convinced, especially since no DNA test was ever done.
Flew him out my house, saying nothing to do with you, and I took him to court for child support. When we went to court, he had a choice to take the test or not take the test. The judge told him that. The judge looked at my daughter.
Then Kyler reveals she went to the courthouse herself this year, trying to find proof. The files were sealed. Only her mom or Mr. Barrows could have accessed them. When she confronted her mom, Ms. Mills told her to let it go because Barrows had already passed away. Excuse me? Let it go? After 29 years of doubt? Absolutely not.
Your Honor, I actually went down to the courthouse earlier this year. I wanted to see if there's proof if there's a test done.
The mother-daughter fight explodes in court. Kyler accuses her mom of lying about having a relationship with Barrows. She claims her mom was only having flings, not real love. Judge Lauren has to step in to calm things down. This family is tearing itself apart right in front of us.
Want to do this?
Why did you wait until I'm 30 years old and never get it done? You lied! Mom, you lied! You guys
Lori, you know what?
Then in walks Ms. Gonzalez, Barrows' biological daughter. She testifies that she's always considered Kyler her sister because her father paid child support for her for 19 years. But she also says Barrows denied being Kyler's dad until the day he died. The contradictions are overwhelming.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Hello, ma'am. Hello. Please state your name for the court.
Gonzalez adds more fuel to the fire. She believes her father lied about paternity because if the truth came out, Ms. Mills might have to pay the money back. And then she drops a bomb. She heard rumors Mills was also with Barrows' cousin. A cousin, y'all. A family web tighter than a telenovela.
I actually brought that up to him again when we ran into each other again, our teenage years, and I said, wait a second, but you're paying child support for a child that's not yours. I mean...
The gallery gasps when Kyler confirms. Her mom admitted she did sleep with another man, Mr. Tirado, who just happened to be Barrows' cousin. And to make it even juicier, Tirado's daughter, Ms. Tirado, is in court too. This paternity mystery now has 3 families colliding.
I don't know.
Did you ask your mom?
Earlier this year, I asked her, I said, why did Mr. Barrows have doubts? And she said she did sleep with someone prior to him.
Tirado testifies she grew up calling Mills her aunt because their families were so close. She's upset this wasn't resolved decades ago and admits she only found out about it on Facebook. Yes, Facebook. Family drama gone viral. Even Judge Lauren had to shake her head.
I know. I can see it's just breaking you down. So you feel like when you look at this picture, you see more of your face.
He has a long face. I have a long face. I really don't know.
Hi, Ms. Tirado. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here today. You are Mr. Tirado's daughter.
By now, the courtroom is overflowing with emotion. Ms. Tirado accuses Mills of sleeping with her father despite being family friends. Mills insists it only happened when they were teenagers. The back and forth is so messy, you could cut the tension with a knife.
Because we had a past relationship, that don't mean we couldn't be friends.
Like, why y'all didn't resolve this a long time ago? Now, and wasn't this resolved a long time ago?
This wasn't supposed to be us doing this. This supposed to be y'all doing
all
this.
actuality.
The DNA test envelope makes its grand entrance, and you can feel the air thicken. Judge Lauren opens it, and even she can't believe what she sees. It's almost as if no one was expecting what the results revealed. Ready to kill the suspense? Well, here are the results.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Kyler v. Mills Gonzalez Tirado, Mrs. Kyler, your 29-year wait.
Judge Lauren gently sits Kyler down before revealing the next envelope, but this time, something unprecedented happens. The results are inconclusive. DNA scientists couldn't confirm if Kyler and Tirado share a biological father. For the first time in paternity court history, science needs more time.
Ladies, I wanted to meet you in my chambers to go over this next set of results because, quite frankly, this is the first time this has ever happened, and I know how emotional this is for both of you.
Judge Lauren takes Kyler and Tirado into chambers, explaining that further testing is required. The episode closes on an emotional note. Kyler has waited 29 years for clarity, and she'll have to wait even longer. Judge Lauren praises her bravery, reminding her she deserves the truth, no matter how long it takes.
And they need to do more reconstructive work to be able to identify whether or not you all share a biological father. And just so you understand this, I have a statement from Dr. Baird from DNA Diagnostics that
this one opens up with Ms. Cowart trying to save her relationship while questioning the paternity of her 9-month-old son. But Mr. James, he's got trust issues the size of Texas. And y'all, his evidence is unlike anything we've ever seen in paternity court history.
Ms. Cowart, you claim you're here today to determine the paternity of your 9-month-old son in an effort to save your relationship.
Mr. James proudly reveals he keeps, wait for it, a calendar. Not just any calendar, but a 16-year intimacy tracker where he records his partners, their cycles, and the exact dates they hooked up. Judge Lauren's face says it all, half shock, half disbelief. Folks, he brought receipts. Literal handwritten receipts.
How did you know?
Well, I have evidence that I keep on a calendar basically about her cycle. And from what I've done...
When he starts explaining it, he's almost bragging, if this woman was on her cycle, I could go to this woman or that one. Sir, did you just treat women like pit stops on a racetrack? The whole courtroom is side-eyeing this man, but he is dead serious.
And also a record of their monthly cycles?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Wow.
At one point in my life, I was a womanizer.
Judge Lauren flips through the evidence like she's grading homework. She reads his notes aloud. Friday, December 28th, cycle begins. Wednesday, January 2nd, cycle ends. I mean, who needs a doctor when you've got Dr. James with his notebook of love?
Okay, so let me see this evidence. So you have here, all right, Friday, December 28th, 2012. That's,
The drama heats up when Ms. Cowart says he forgot to write down some of their encounters. He fires back instantly. No, I put all the dates on there. The back and forth is pure comedy, like watching two people argue about receipts at Target.
He didn't put all the dates on his calendar.
I put all the dates on there.
You didn't.
Hey.
Then comes the birthday drama. She swears they had birthday sex on January 4th. He insists they did not. What man doesn't remember his birthday weekend, he says. Judge Lauren nearly bursts out laughing, telling him he should have marked grocery store pickup in his calendar if he wanted to be thorough.
And she claims that we had birthday sex, which is my birthday, which is in January, but we did not actually have any. And I know it for a fact because...
Things get tense when he reveals from the start she was in another relationship. He claims she admitted later she'd slept with her ex twice during their time together. Ms. Cowart pushes back, saying he can't expect loyalty when he met her as someone else's woman. Whew, this relationship started rocky and stayed rocky.
Beginning, the way that the relationship started, she was in a relationship when the relationship started.
Okay.
And after a week of us being intimate...
Fast forward to the hospital. She says he was there when the baby was born, signed the birth certificate, and acted like a father. But now, he's claiming he never actually signed it and has no idea how his name got on it. Sir, how do you just mysteriously end up on official paperwork?
So when Taj was born, who was at the hospital? Anybody there?
Mr. James was at the hospital. He was there the whole time.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
When asked if he sees himself in the baby, Mr. James flatly says no. The boy looks just like his mother, but he also hints Ms. Cowart might have been with someone else while pregnant. The tension in that room, you could cut it with a steak knife.
As you look at Taj, do you see yourself? Do you think he looks like you? You don't see any?
Then Judge Lauren digs deeper into their trust issues. Turns out, he was jealous of photos she took while pregnant, even accusing her of disrespect for posing with another man at a restaurant. She insists it was innocent, just a family dinner photo. He insists otherwise. This couple cannot agree on anything.
You say you don't really trust him. Did that make you entertain other men or sexual relationships that you may not have otherwise?
Finally, Judge Lauren asks the big question. What happens if he's not the father? Mr. James says if the DNA proves otherwise, the wedding is off. But if Taj is his son, he's ready to marry her immediately. The stakes couldn't be higher. This DNA test is literally deciding the future of their family.
Yes, Your Honor.
And now, this lack of trust is still running rampant in your own relationship.
And here it comes. Jerome walks in with that infamous envelope. Everyone's holding their breath, and even Mr. James looks nervous. Calendar or no calendar, this is the moment of truth.
All right. Our relationship to go further.
Okay, Jerome, let's get to the result.
The DNA test envelope makes its grand entrance, and you can feel the air thicken. Judge Lauren opens it, and even she can't believe what she sees. It's almost as if no one was expecting what the results revealed, ready to kill the suspense. Well, here are the results.
In the case of Cowart versus James, when it comes to Taj James, Mr. James, you are the father.
And the kicker, Mr. James, Mr. 16 years of calendar entries, is crying happy tears. He admits it feels good to finally know the truth and says now he can move forward, marry her, and raise their kids. Folks, the intimacy calendar may have been wild, but love won today.
And I see the tears in your eyes, Mr. James. It feels good to know, right?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
I just hope this makes our relationship better.
How do you feel about that?
We kick this one off with Ms. Ellis claiming she had a fling with Mr. Koger 3 years ago and is convinced he's the father of her son, Zamar. But Mr. Koger? He strolls into court acting like this is science fiction, saying it would take a medical miracle because, in his words, we never had sex. Oh, the audacity.
Good day, everyone. Ms. Ellis, you claim you had a brief fling with the defendant 3 years ago.
Koger gives his version of events. They hung out, they flirted, they went upstairs, got undressed, and then he says it stopped because Ms. Ellis had vaginal discomfort. Excuse me? Did he really just pull out a medical chart in the middle of paternity court?
You know, laugh it up, stuff like that. So it came to the point where she wanted to come over and stuff like that. So if she would come over, we would hang out.
But Ms. Ellis fires back immediately. She says they did go through with it, at least for a while, until it started hurting too much and she told him to stop. That's a big difference from, we never did anything. Somebody is definitely lying here, folks.
Yeah, at the time, we was eating, chilling or whatever. And then, we started, talking about, sexual stuff or whatever. We went up there.
And then the receipts come out. Literally. Judge Lauren looks at text messages where Ellis says it hurt to have sex, while Koger responds as if nothing ever happened. The confusion is real. He's denying it, she's affirming it, and Judge Lauren looks like she's solving a crime scene.
True. Jerome, this is a message.
We never messed around at all.
You said it hurt to have sex, and then you say, Miss Ellis, because it did.
Fast forward to Ms. Ellis finding out she was pregnant. She collapsed in a shopping mall, rushed to the hospital, and boom, discovered she was already 8 weeks along. The kicker? She didn't even tell Koger. He found out through Facebook photos. Y'all, Facebook strikes again.
you know, what to do. And so a nurse came in the room and she was like, okay, you had passed out. We feel like you had a heat stroke, so we're gonna give you some fluids and everything.
When Coger saw those pictures, he messaged her asking if the baby was his. Now pause. Sir, why are you asking if you never had sex? The math is not mathing.
Found out she was pregnant. I saw her stomach, you know, she was all pregnant, you know, stuff like that. So yes, I did ask her. I said, hey, you pregnant, dude, you know.
Ms. Ellis admits she told him no at the time because she was with someone else who promised to raise the baby. She didn't want extra drama. I mean, talk about dodging responsibility and causing confusion all at once.
I'm not a drama person. I
It was no
was
drama.
with somebody else.
It was no drama at all. I politely asked.
Judge Lauren isn't letting it slide. She points out the obvious. If Coger was so sure nothing happened, why is he texting like a potential dad? His only defense, we just tussled in the bed. Folks, tussling doesn't get people pregnant.
The only thing we did was just tussle around in the bed. Like I said, I never had sex.
Had you been intimate with anybody else during the time you were with Mr. Coger?
Yes, a week or so prior to us.
Things take a turn when Ellis's cousin convinced her to reach out to Coger later on, and then enters another bombshell. Coger's wife, Ms. Williams, takes the stand. She says she overheard Ellis admit to having problems down there and claims her husband never lied about who he slept with. Whew, the tension in that room was thicker than molasses.
We never had sex. We never.
All right, so Mr. Coger, you brought a witness.
Yes.
Please stand, ma'am. State your name.
Hi, Yana. I'm Tamika Williams.
And then, boom, Ellis pulls out her own evidence, a calendar. She claims she kept track and that 1 week she slept with her ex, and the next week she was with Coger in a car. Judge Lauren's jaw drops. All this arguing about upstairs or not, when there's apparently a whole car episode too?
That's around that time in that week, I did the whole week. For the main fact, I don't remember exactly what day me and my ex had sex.
The arguments spiral fast. Ellis and Williams are going back and forth, shouting about lies and husbands while Judge Lauren tries to restore order. At this point, the courtroom feels like a reality TV reunion special.
All right, so the car happened on the 7th of July. You were having sex with the ex at the end of June. So it's really only a week apart.
Finally, Judge Lauren says enough. There's too much back and forth. She orders a DNA test to cut through all the drama. You can practically hear everyone's sigh in relief.
Ready?
Yes.
So, Mr. Coger, you came into this courtroom today asking the court not to administer a paternity test.
Back in court, Ms. Ellis shares how painful this is for her because she grew up in foster care and doesn't want her son to feel abandoned. Meanwhile, Coger admits he's never even seen the boy in 3 years. Talk about heartbreaking.
My feelings are hurt for the main fact because I grew up in foster care. I didn't know my real mom until I turned 17. I don't want my son to grow up not knowing who his dad is.
Mr. Coger.
And then comes the moment. Jerome walks in with the envelope. Everyone braces themselves. Judge Lauren opens it, and what she says blows the mind of everyone. Are you ready? Because here it comes.
In the case of Ellis v. Coger, pertaining to 3-year-old Zamarian Johnson, Mr. Coger, you are Zamarian's father.
The reactions? Ms. Ellis breathes a sigh of relief, but Coger still refuses to admit they ever had sex. His wife stands by him, saying she still believes he never did. Judge Lauren is floored. DNA doesn't lie, but denial sure does. Meanwhile, Coger finally softens and says, "He's my son now." Cue the tissues, y'all.
Is your memory coming back now?
Not at all. Not at all, Yana. Not at all. I don't have no reason to lie about it or damn.
So you still don't remember?
I do not. I don't.
We open with Judge Lauren setting the stage. Mr. Johnson swears his fiance's 8-month-old baby girl might actually belong to her ex-boyfriend, not him. He's so sure that if the DNA proves her wrong, he's walking out and never looking back. And to top it off, he's asking the court for $275 in baby expenses. Child support refund court? This man came with receipts.
Mr. Johnson, you claim you are here today with a relationship on the line. Now, you are convinced your fiance's 8-month-old daughter, Camilla, was...
Mr. Johnson then explains how he and Ms. Quintero met, through his ex no less. The man says he fell in love instantly, but of course, she had a boyfriend at the time. Fast forward, they start talking again later, and after just 2 weeks of being together, boom. she's pregnant. I mean, talk about moving at lightning speed.
Started maybe 3 years ago. I met Maria at my job. My ex-girlfriend brought her over there. First time I seen her, I fell in love, I'm not gonna lie. So she had a boyfriend at the time, and I had a girlfriend at the time, so I never really talked to her.
When he recalls the moment she called and said she was pregnant, he admits he hung up on her. Why? Because he was at a party drinking with his brother. Sir, you just found out you might be a dad and your first response is, let me call you back?
I called her back later and she never picked up. She calls me up on the phone and like, hey, I'm pregnant. I was at my brother's house. We were having a little get together. We're drinking.
Ms. Quintero quickly steps in to clear things up. She says she was excited about moving into her first apartment, but when Johnson blew her off, she called her ex instead. According to her, that's how the confusion started. Judge Lauren cuts right to it. So you had sex with both men during the same window of conception? Quintero admits yes. Oh boy, here we go.
We had planned to go look for an apartment the day before. It was my first apartment. I was really excited about it. So he knew I was excited about it. So I called him the next morning and he didn't answer.
That's when Johnson pulls out his secret weapon, a calendar. He's highlighted dates, color-coded conception windows, and is basically running a whole fertility investigation in front of the judge. The way he explains it, his math points directly back to March when she was with her ex. Who knew paternity court came with science fair projects?
What are you holding?
I just had a calendar.
Jerome, will you please hand me this calendar?
It just states when Cammie was born, and the 2 months at the top is midway when me and Maria started talking in March.
But Ms. Quintero isn't backing down. She says the baby came 6 weeks early, meaning the timing fits for Johnson after all. And to make things juicier, she admits condoms weren't always in use because, in her words, we would drink and forget. I don't know about you, but forgetting protection seems like a mighty big memory lapse.
And Your Honor, I used a condom when we had sex, and that was one of the things that were puzzling me around the whole pregnancy thing.
Despite all this back and forth, Johnson stayed. He says he went to doctor's appointments, was there for the birth, and even signed the birth certificate. Judge Lauren asks if he regrets that, and he says no, because he didn't want to miss out if the baby really was his. This man is torn between duty and doubt.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, in your mind, during this time, you said to yourself, I'm going to take on this responsibility. I believe this baby is mine, or...
But Ms. Quintero fires back. If he wanted a DNA test so badly, why didn't he request one the day the baby was born? Instead, she says he's using this as leverage, denying the baby every time they argue, especially when he's caught talking to other girls. Ouch, shots fired.
And I told him since day one, you can take a DNA test. Since day one, I've told him. Since I got pregnant, I was like, you want to take one? Go ahead. You wait till now. Why? I don't know. I feel like it's because he just wants to know if it's his or hers so he can just start going doing his own thing.
And sure enough, the drama doesn't stop there. Johnson admits that when things got rocky, he used his doubts about paternity as Plan B, a way out of the relationship when caught cheating. Judge Lauren is stunned, reminding him that babies aren't bargaining chips. Plan B should stand for Plan Baby, not Plan Breakup.
Girlfriend was with this guy at this time.
What do people at work know about your business?
Oh, well, I publicly display my daughter, and everybody in our community pretty much knows Maria was with that other guy a long time.
Ms. Quintero then pulls out her own evidence. Facebook posts where Johnson himself once said, "Wow, I can't deny it. That's me all day," when friends said the baby looked like him. Now he's trying to switch it up in court, saying the resemblance faded. Sir, you can't just revoke a baby's face card.
When she was like newborn, she looked a lot like him. Because even his friends told him she looked like him.
And
probably
so,
now.
What is this you submitted, Quintero?
It's that he says that, you know.
Judge Lauren looks at side-by-side photos of the child and Ms. Quintero and admits the little girl looks just like her mother. Johnson, however, insists he sees no resemblance to himself or his family. Honestly, this whole debate has everyone squinting like it's a game of Guess Who.
Just like me, her nose, I mean,
very
maybe,
much like
yeah.
her mom.
So
Yes.
it's like, he said, oh, she has, you know, silky hair like mine. I mean, like, good for her, you know what I mean? It's like...
Then comes the financial drama. Johnson wants his $275 back if he's not the father. Diapers, food, clothes, all tallied up like he's balancing a checkbook. Even Ms. Quintero agrees he paid, but she swears it's way more than that. Judge Lauren practically rolls her eyes, because what is $275 compared to a whole baby?
By the support. So this is a perfect time to deal with your arbitration. You say you've paid $275.
Finally, the envelope arrives. The courtroom goes silent. Johnson stares like his whole future is hanging in the balance, while Quintero looks ready to cry. Tension here? Whew. You could slice it with a knife.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows.
The DNA test envelope makes its grand entrance, and you can feel the air thicken. Judge Lauren opens it, and even she can't believe what she sees. It's almost as if no one was expecting what the results revealed. Ready to kill the suspense? Well, here are the results.
In the case of Johnson v. Quintero, when it comes to 8-month-old Camilla Johnson, Mr. Johnson, you are her father.
Quintero beams with relief, saying now they can move on, plan their wedding, and finally leave the drama behind. Judge Lauren, in true mic drop fashion, tells them the only plan B they need is plan baby. And just like that, this roller coaster of doubt, drama, and diapers comes to an end.
And now, since you've arrived at the point where you know that this child is yours, there's no more question.
We open with Judge Lauren laying out the drama. Ms. Smith isn't sure if her fiancé, Mr. Brooker, or her ex is the father of her 4-month-old son, Lamondre. And y'all, Mr. Brooker is sitting there with doubts, receipts, and what he calls his detective work. A fiancé playing Sherlock Holmes? This is about to get messy.
Hey.
Ms. Smith, you are here in court today because you claim a miscalculation during your pregnancy has left you unsure.
Ms. Smith tells the story. She was with her ex, broke up, then hooked up with Brooker after her birthday party. Soon after, boom. Pregnancy test positive. But here's the kicker. Doctors gave her 2 completely different due dates. One pointed to her ex, the other to Brooker. That's not just confusing, that's courtroom chaos.
College last year, but at that time I was with ex-boyfriend, so I knew I couldn't talk to Mr. Brooker.
Brooker admits his heart dropped when she first told him the doctor said 6 weeks instead of 8. Translation: that window suddenly made room for the ex. The man literally looked like he saw a ghost, but to his credit, he says she was honest and he stayed. Okay, stand-up fiancé vibes so far.
Got it.
Through time, she came up. Well, she was in her car at that time, and I was home. She sent me a text saying it was important and she needed to talk to me.
And y'all, he really bonded with the baby. He named him after himself, planned to marry Smith in September, and even gushes about their morning talks. This man is melting over baby babble while still carrying DNA doubts in the back of his mind. My heart can't handle it.
Understandable.
So now, you and Lamondre Jr., you know, this is your son. You have a bond now, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how are you feeling in terms of, oh, what a beautiful picture?
3:03 to 3:47. Then Smith drops the evidence, a calendar of dates, doctor's notes, and ultrasounds. According to the first 2 doctors, due date April 9th. But at her 3rd appointment, ultrasound says May 13th. That's a whole 7 weeks difference. Judge Lauren's face says it all. What in the medical mystery is going on here?
What happened?
Well, the thing is, I went to 3 different doctors. The first one I went to, and they told me, well, yeah, you're about 8 or 9 weeks pregnant, and they did it by the chart.
And then comes the twist. Baby Lamondre was born 2 months early. Depending on which due date you believe, he was either 1 month premature or 2. The doctors couldn't even agree. At this point, I think the baby came out just to settle the debate himself.
You were with Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Wow. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. We have 2 due dates that far apart.
Judge Lauren calls in Dr. Gator, a medical expert, who explains it's actually common. Irregular cycles can throw off due dates unless you use an early ultrasound. According to her, the May 13th date is more accurate, pointing right at Brooker as the father. Brooker looks hopeful. Smith nods like, see? Told you so.
Happened, so the court is calling upon an expert witness. And Jerome, if you would please escort Dr. Jamila Gator.
But the doubt never really left. Brooker admits he even bought an at-home DNA test with help from his cousin. And get this, he swabbed the baby in the NICU when he was only 2 days old. The nurses told him not to, but Sir said, CSI: Paternity Court, here I come.
Have a DNA test.
Correct.
And so what do you do?
Well, my cousin bought a test for me. I took it there to the hospital.
So your cousin brought an...
The results of that DIY test? 0% probability of paternity. Brooker says his heart sank, but still looked at that baby and said, that's my son. Can someone pass me a tissue? The loyalty is unreal. Smith, of course, says she never believed that test because the baby was premature and the nurses warned them it might be inaccurate. She stood firm, saying Brooker is the dad in her heart. This is turning into a Shakespearean-level love story mixed with courtroom suspense.
because I feel like he was born early and the nurse advised us not to do it. So that's why I don't believe that it's accurate, and I want to get another one done.
But you just wanted to know.
The results are in. Jerome hands the envelope to Judge Lake, and she is ready to spill the tea on who the father of the child is. Do you think the father of the child is Mr. Lang? Well, let's find out.
In the case of Smith v. Brooker, as it pertains to 4-month-old Lamontre Brooker, Mr. Brooker, you are not his father.
Here comes the results, people. Smith's face crumbles in devastation, whispering, "That's not what I was hoping." Meanwhile, Brooker takes it like a champ, saying he's still going to be there for Lamondre no matter what. Judge Lauren is visibly touched, praising him for being such a stand-up guy.
I'm sorry to have to deliver that news.
It's okay. I'm still gonna be there.
Miss Smith, what are you feeling right now?
That was not what I was hoping.
It's all right.
The final blow? Brooker says nothing will change. He'll continue being the father figure, fiancé, and support system. Despite the heartbreaking news, he chooses love over biology. Talk about emotional whiplash.
We're gonna go forward. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be his father, and nothing's gonna change between us.
We're gonna go forward with our day-to-day life. Nothing really ever happened.
Imagine thinking for 30 years that a man is your father, only to have a family dinner turn into an episode of Jerry Springer real quick. That's exactly what happened to Ms. Lappin, who's now in court to find out if Mr. Lappin, the man she's always called Dad, is actually her biological father. Oh, and if he is, he might be heading back to jail over child support. Buckle up, this one's messy.
Ms. Lapine, you say for the past 30 years, you'd always believed the defendant, Mr. Lapine, was your dad.
Right from the jump, Judge Lauren lays out the stakes. Ms. Lapin grew up believing Mr. Lapin was her dad, but just months ago, someone at a family dinner casually drops, "Well, you don't look like him anyway." Excuse me? Who does that over mashed potatoes? You can feel the heartbreak in Ms. Lapin's voice as she explains the shock.
So, Ms. Lapine, tell me, what happened the night you first learned the defendant may not be your biological father?
She recalls calling her dad the next day, asking if the rumors were true, and Mr. Lapin, who has already spent years in jail over unpaid child support, admits there might have been another man around at the time. You could hear the whole courtroom gasp when Judge Lauren asked, "They gave you a name?" and she calmly said, "Yes." Talk about a plot twist.
Wow. So did you reach out to your father, Mr.
Yes.
And what did you say?
I called him the next day and asked him if it was true, and
then it gets heavier. Mr. Lappin reveals he spent 4 to 5 years in jail strictly for child support tied to Ms. Lappin. No other crimes, nothing else. Just child support. Imagine sitting in a cell while not even knowing if the child is yours. That's next level tragic.
You believe this young girl was your daughter?
Yes, ma'am. And I've been 4 to 5 years in jail, and it gets rough.
4 to 5.
Judge Lauren digs deeper. She wants to know if Mr. Lapin ever questioned paternity back when Ms. Lapin's mom was pregnant. And he admits he went back, counted the months, and realized he wasn't even around during part of the baby-making timeline. Folks, this man was doing math equations 30 years late, and the math was not mathing.
You could be thrown back in jail again for being behind, and yet you still don't know whether you're her biological father.
True, I don't know if I'm her dad or not.
When Judge Lauren asks if he thinks Ms. Lapin looks like him, he doesn't even hesitate. No, ma'am, that's cold. He even points out how his other daughter looks exactly like him, but not Ms. Lapin. The silence in that courtroom could cut glass. Ouch.
So after you learned her mother was pregnant, you went on and married and signed the birth certificate, and you stepped up to be...
And then, Jerome, do your thing. In comes Jennifer Lapin, another daughter, ready to give her side. The second she walks in, the tension spikes. She sits down and calmly states she's here because she wants the truth too. But you can see the worry in her eyes. What if her sister's whole life changes in an instant?
Please be seated. Thank you for joining us. And your name?
Jennifer Lapin.
Mr. Lapin is your father?
Yes.
And you grew up believing Brandy was your sister?
Yes.
So
Jennifer explains that she's always noticed differences between herself and her sister. Different skin tones, different looks, different mannerisms. She's trying to keep it respectful, but you can tell she's low-key saying, "Yeah, sis, you might not be one of us." Talk about sibling awkwardness on blast.
what would they say?
It was just things like, "Oh, well, you're the milkman's baby," stuff like that. Then, after so many years, you think something, and then...
Meanwhile, Ms. Lapin is visibly holding back tears. For 30 years, she's called this man Dad. For 30 years, she's carried his last name. And now she has to sit here and listen while everyone debates whether she belongs or not. My heart was breaking right along with hers. Can someone please pass the tissues?
This is a picture we took last week of me, my dad, and my sister.
and you feel like you strongly resemble your father,
Right.
but Brandy does not.
Right.
Judge Lauren tries to lighten the tension by focusing on facts, asking Jennifer if she remembers how their parents' relationship went down. And when Jennifer brings up rumors of their mom seeing another man, boom, more gasps. This family dinner secret is turning into a full-blown buffet of drama.
Yes,
Your
Your Honor.
daughter.
Yes, Your Honor. And here's where I've been paying child support.
Yeah.
I'd go to the courthouse and pay.
Jerome, please pass
I
me
would
that
have
evidence.
it taken out of my paycheck.
Mr. Lapin jumps back in, insisting that friends later told him Ms. Lapin's mother had been with other men. You can just see Judge Lauren's eyebrows shoot up like, really? You waited 30 years to say this? Sir, that would have been useful info a few decades ago.
Your support, then you go to jail. Well, even if you had a job, when you go to jail, you lose the job.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you come out of jail, you gotta find another job.
The courtroom mood swings between heartbreak and pure awkwardness. Ms. Lapin is devastated, Jennifer is worried, and Mr. Lapin just looks exhausted from carrying this weight for so long. Even Judge Lauren looks like she's holding back her own emotions. Folks, this is paternity court at its rawest.
Down.
I did let them down, and I'm sorry. I wish I'd never left. I wasn't worried about what their mom had to say. And then I wouldn't have messed Miss Hopper.
And then, it's time. Cue the drum roll. Judge Lauren opens the DNA envelope, and the whole courtroom goes silent. You can practically hear hearts pounding. Is Mr. Lapin the biological father, or has this man spent years in jail for a child that isn't even his?
Their father, but also my 4 children.
And to be clear, you all are in a relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
26.
And here it is. Cue the drum roll. Judge Lake is ready to reveal the DNA results. The wait is finally over. This is what we have all been waiting for. Who is the father of the child? I guess the DNA results is about to give us that answer. I hope you guys are ready.
Pertains to Jennifer. In the case of Lapine versus Lapine, when it comes to Jennifer Lapine, Mr. Richard Lapine, you are her father.
Imagine coming to paternity court thinking you're raising your daughter with love, only to find out mom admits she might have also been with your friend. That's the nightmare Mr. Robinson is facing today. Ms. Shank is in court, trying to prove he's the father of her little girl, Serenity, but the catch? She admits she may have gotten pregnant by someone else. Talk about drama overload.
Miss Shank, you claim that when your daughter Serenity turned 2, Mr. Robinson began to doubt paternity.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right away, Robinson explains that he was there for everything. Doctor's visits, the birth, you name it. He was playing full-time dad without hesitation. And then, boom, Ms. Shank drops the bomb 5 months into pregnancy. She had also been with his friend. Y'all, the man's face says it all. Betrayal and disbelief rolled into one.
As it relates.
Well, Your Honor, up 2 years of Serenity's life, I was there for her and Mrs. Shank until...
Judge Lauren can barely believe what she's hearing. She asks Ms. Shank straight up if this is true, and Ms. Shank calmly admits it. Yes, she was with another guy. Yes, the condom broke, and yes, it could be his. Girl, you can feel the air leave the courtroom. Who admits this so casually?
I didn't know. When I first found out I was pregnant, he was there, like he said. We were in an on and off.
But here's where things get even messier. Robinson only found out because he saw a text Ms. Shank sent her cousin saying there was a 50-50 chance he wasn't the dad. Can you imagine scrolling through Bay's phone and finding that? I mean, that's the kind of text that ruins lives.
5 months into my pregnancy, he had went through my phone and seen a text message I had sent to my cousin.
And when Judge Lauren presses her, Ms. Shank says it just didn't add up. Excuse me? How does being pregnant by either your man or his friend not add up? Judge Lauren's eyebrows alone could cut through glass here. She's not buying it.
Well,
it didn't add up. It didn't add up, Your Honor.
What do you mean it didn't add up? It did add up because you wouldn't have written that text if you didn't think that.
The whole courtroom is watching Ms. Shank squirm, and Robinson looks like he's trying not to explode. Judge Lauren basically says, so you told him he was the father for months until he caught you. And Mrs. Shank nods. Y'all, even Jerome the bailiff looked shook.
Cousin, you were replaying it in your mind?
You can say that, yes.
Okay, so when the baby was born, you were there?
Yes, ma'am.
So after she told you, you said...
Despite all this, Robinson stayed. He was at the hospital, signed the birth certificate, did the diapers and late-night feedings, but you can see the pain in his eyes. This man feels like his whole role as a dad is hanging by a thread. Honestly, can someone pass him a hug?
Through the birth, I was there.
There at the hospital?
Yes, ma'am. I was there through her whole pregnancy. I was there through her birth certificate. My name is on it.
And then now you have this beautiful little girl.
Then Judge Lauren digs deeper. When the baby came late, did you ever think maybe this child wasn't Robinson's? And Ms. Shank hesitates. Before finally admitting yes, it crossed her mind. The hesitation in her voice speaks louder than her words. Talk about awkward.
5 months.
I found out that she was having the other guy tested, or she wanted to get tested and didn't have me tested.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court,
Things get rocky quickly when Robinson explains how much this betrayal cut him. He talks about how he bonded with Serenity, his little girl, or at least he thought so. His voice cracks, and the heartbreak is palpable. You could cut this tension with a knife.
Serenity differently than your other child.
Yes.
Explain.
He'll call and talk to my son. Sometimes he'll talk to her.
By now, Judge Lauren is visibly frustrated. She reminds Ms. Shank that this isn't just about adult mistakes, this is about a child who needs clarity. And watching Robinson's face, you can see he's praying those DNA results will finally give him peace.
That's TMI for a child. So now your son looks at your daughter and says that's not your daddy. And she's brokenhearted.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I want to hear from your witness. Ma'am, please step up.
Fast forward to the DNA test reveal, and the courtroom is dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Judge Lauren takes a long pause, and you just know hearts are about to shatter. Cue the drum roll.
Serenity's biological father.
I know where he is, but I don't think he's willing to.
So a lot's riding on this result today because...
And here it is. Cue the drum roll. Judge Lake is ready to reveal the DNA results. The wait is finally over. This is what we have all been waiting for. Who is the father of the child? I guess the DNA results is about to give us that answer. I hope you guys are ready.
Versus Robinson when it comes to 2-year-old Serenity Shank. Jamario Robin is her father.
Mr. Hill has paid over $50,000 in child support for 18-year-old Toman. But today, he's in court saying he doesn't even believe he's the dad. Y'all, imagine paying all that money while side-eyeing your kid the whole time. Meanwhile, Ms. Harris swears up and down that Hill is the father because, in her words, the boy looks exactly like him.
Mr. Hill, you have petitioned the court for years to get a DNA test on Ms. Harris's 18-year-old son, Taman.
Right away, Mr. Hill claims that Ms. Harris cheated with someone else during their relationship. He insists she even admitted it multiple times. But Ms. Harris claps back immediately, calling him a flat-out liar. Already, the courtroom is sizzling with, he said, she said.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, why don't you think he's yours?
Basically, she had sexual intercourse with somebody else.
Excuse me, all right.
Judge Lauren tries to cut through the noise, asking why Mr. Hill thinks he's not the father. Hill tells this wild story about some guy on the street trying to fight him, yelling he was the real dad. Excuse me? You know your life is messy when random street fights are part of your paternity story.
So you're saying she told you she slept with somebody else?
On numerous different occasions.
All right, but the point is when you were in your relationship...
Ms. Harris isn't having it. She says the whole time Hill was actually happy, proud even, telling everyone, that's my baby, when Toman was born. She even says he cut the umbilical cord. And you know what? That visual of him hollering across a store, that's my baby, is pure gold.
Of the event.
I got pregnant, first in the delivery room. He was so happy talking about he didn't want to sign a birth certificate.
But Hill swears he always had doubts. He says Harris would disappear on phone calls, stay on hold for minutes, and basically left him thinking she was out running around. You can tell Judge Lauren isn't convinced yet. She leans in with that classic, face.
Taman was conceived.
The always on the phone, I'm talking to her. She put me on hold 5-10 minutes, something like that.
Then comes the money drama. Hill says he's been paying child support faithfully, hundreds of dollars every 2 weeks. Yet Harris wasn't even showing up to court when he tried requesting DNA tests. If you've ever felt broke, imagine being broke and unsure if the kid is even yours.
You never had that.
Different occasions.
Amazed, happy because this was your first child.
Different occasions. I'm at court. She's nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found.
Enter Ms. Harris's mother, Ms. Holmes, and whew, she comes in hot. She looks Mr. Hill dead in the face and says, "Are you blind? Do you see him? He looks exactly like you." The shade, the sass. Grandma is not here to play.
Thank you, Ms. Holmes, for joining us today. What do you know about this?
Mr. Hill, you need to be ashamed of yours. You! Are you blind, Chris?
Judge Lauren then turns to Toman himself. And y'all, grab the tissues. He says he's always believed Mr. Hill was his dad. Never knew otherwise. But he admits he doesn't have any real memories of a father in his life. The sadness in his voice? Heartbreaking stuff.
And I know this is hard for you to listen to. All these adults just arguing back and forth. But I want to understand from your perspective.
Toman even says he feels left out, seeing his friends with their dads. I mean, can we talk about the gut punch? The camera cuts to Hill, and you can see the guilt washing over him, like he finally realizes the damage all this doubt has done.
I just feel like he should be there. He should have been there my whole life. I should remember him through my life, and I don't.
Your Honor, can I speak?
I hope you say something of value.
I did try to have a relationship with Tamon.
But Hill tries to defend himself, saying whenever he reached out, it was all about money. Judge Lauren isn't buying it. She calls him out directly. 18 years and all you have are excuses? Ouch. The gavel may as well have smacked his ego right there.
He was alive before Facebook was even created. I don't want to hear no excuses. 18 years.
Look, I told
Tamon, did you bring the messages to you?
I gave my number.
Then Ms. Harris pulls out the height argument. She says the man Hill accused her of cheating with was tall, over 6 feet, while Hill is shorter, and her son ended up closer to Hill's height. She's basically doing courtroom math on genetics. Even Judge Lauren looked like, well, she's got a point.
If you brought something, absolutely. I would like to see some evidence that makes sense this mess.
This is the alleged person that he claims.
By this point, Judge Lauren is fed up. She tells both parents that the only one truly hurting here is Toman, this young man who spent his whole life believing he had a father, but instead got stuck in an 18-year mess. The room goes quiet.
Listen. Are you all understanding that the only person really hurting this is Tamon?
And now, the big moment. Judge Lauren picks up the envelope. The tension is thick. She reads the results. In the case of Hill versus Harris, pertaining to 18-year-old Toman, let's see the results.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows.
Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listing.
Immediately, Hill breaks down. He turns to Toman, apologizes through tears for not being there, and asks for forgiveness. Then, hug time. After 18 years of doubt, the truth finally sets this family free. Talk about a paternity court classic.
Can I say something, Your Honor? Can I say something?
I think you owe my son an apology.
Excuse me. That's exactly what I'm finna do. Tamon, I apologize.
This case kicks off with pure chaos. Ms. Lima admits she had an affair with Mr. Anderson, who just so happens to be married with 5 kids. And now, she claims he's the father of her baby girl. Judge Lauren wastes no time pointing out the obvious. This whole courtroom is about to explode.
Ms. Lima, you admit to making a huge mistake and hope it doesn't affect your baby. Christina, you had an affair with Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson tries to downplay the whole thing, calling it a mistake from one bad argument with his wife. Sir, you don't bring roses, book hotel rooms, and sneak women into your house for a one-night stand. The way Mrs. Anderson's face hardens? Woo, she's ready to throw her whole shoe at him.
Went out to dinner and we got a hotel room that night. We had sex.
Your Honor. Just one moment, ma'am.
We was planning a trip to go on a trip.
Then Ms. Lima drops her bomb. She says this wasn't no fling. It was a full-on relationship for 2 years, weekends included. And she even went to his house and described the furniture to Mrs. Anderson. The courtroom gasps, and honestly, I gasp too. How do you explain that, sir?
And I want my marriage to work, but
and
it
I
started.
See your wife next to you, and I feel her pain.
Me and my wife, we had a bad, argument, and and I decided to go out.
Judge Lauren goes in. She's like, "You've got this woman describing your house." And Mr. Anderson, caught red-handed, finally admits, okay, yes, it wasn't just one night. Y'all, this man lied so hard at first, even Pinocchio would have said, "Calm down, bro."
And
so, let me be clear. You say this only happened this one night.
One night. It was a one-night stand.
You never saw her again?
Never saw her again.
And just when you think it can't get worse, Ms. Lima confesses she was also sleeping with another man during the same time. Judge Lauren literally has to pause and say, "So you were with both men without protection? You could cut the tension with a knife, and Mrs. Anderson looks like she wants to cut him with one too."
I went to his family at first. I couldn't contact him, so I went to his family and I got rejected by them. So I was like, well, that really hurted me. So I was just like, well, let me move.
When Mrs. Anderson speaks, the whole courtroom feels her heartbreak. She breaks down saying she's been with her husband for a decade, built a whole life, and now she's blindsided with this. Her pain is raw. She calls out both of them for disrespecting her marriage. You can hear the strength and the anger in her voice.
Your Honor. And just the
children?
5. Come on,
At what point did you hear there was potentially a baby?
But the drama ain't done yet. Jerome brings in the other possible father, Cameron Scott. The crowd is shook. This man strolls in like, "Yep, I might be the daddy too." The way Mrs. Anderson turned to her husband, you could feel that glare through the TV screen.
Typical.
Thank you for joining us, sir. State your name for the court.
Cameron Scott.
Mr. Scott, thank you for being here. Ms. Lima has told us she was
Mr. Scott tells his side, met Ms. Lima at a gas station, took her out on Valentine's Day, and yes, slept with her too. And when she told him she was pregnant, she admitted right then it could be his O.R. Anderson's. He was even at doctor's appointments. Meanwhile, Mr. Anderson was ghosting like a Wi-Fi signal in the basement.
All right, and when did you find out she was pregnant?
I found out about 3 months later. She was already about...
The two men go back and forth, each denying responsibility, while Ms. Lima just sits there saying she hopes Mr. Anderson is the dad because he's more stable. Girl, stable? He's out here juggling mistresses, sneaking around, lying to his wife, and you call that stable? Even Judge Lauren almost laughed.
Mr. Anderson.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
How would she think her daughter looks like some of your children if she's never seen them?
She must be passing by and
No.
stalking, stuff like that.
No. Oh my God.
Passing by?
Finally, Judge Lauren says what we're all thinking. Mr. Anderson, this is beyond a mess. This is a nightmare. And the only way out? DNA results. You could feel the whole courtroom lean forward in suspense.
No.
What we need to do here is figure out the truth because Mr. Anderson, you have...
The first envelope, results for Cameron Scott. Judge Lauren reads it out, and boom, the courtroom cannot believe their ears. It's almost as if Judge Lauren said the unthinkable. Let's break the suspense, shall we? Here are the results.
Jerome, why don't you take a stand right in the middle of the aisleway? We know this can be emotional. Let's all just try to...
Now the big one. Judge Lauren opens the second envelope for Mr. Anderson. The tension? Off the charts. Mrs. Anderson is clutching her seat, eyes locked. Jerome even positions himself in case anybody falls out.
Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings.
Pertaining to whether Mr. Anderson...
And here it is. Cue the drum roll. Judge Lake is ready to reveal the DNA results. The wait is finally over. This is what we have all been waiting for. Who is the father of the child? I guess the DNA results is about to give us that answer. I hope you guys are ready.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are not her father.
The final shot is pure devastation. Ms. Lima left with no answer, Mr. Anderson drowning in shame, and Mrs. Anderson standing strong after enduring it all. Judge Lauren tells Ms. Lima to figure her life out for her daughter, because this child deserves better than this chaos.
As well, but it wasn't for you. It was for your wife. You know you need to be... I don't know what you're gonna say or what you're gonna do or